Live. Oh, and we are live once again. Hello and welcome to the Prince Magnum channel where hot rodding and romance do coexist. I'm your host, Prince Magnum. This is another episode of Do It Yourself Budget Hot Rodding. It's also going to be the episode that I'm going to be kind of flip flopping back and forth between the camera facing me, and it'll be facing the cars, and it's going to be facing me. It's going to be interesting. I'm hoping I don't, break something or something like that. All right, here's the first flip. And boom, you all have been asking about Project Lena. Project Lena, our 2003 Pontiac Grand Am GT. We made a couple of changes. She wasn't at the show yesterday. The first change you'll notice right away is repainted that piece. And if you come over here, we repainted that one. Now, when you stand back, I mean, it's not a big honking deal, but this is falling in line with what we're already working on, okay? Uh, One of the main things is Princess Faye has been saying is that she's not in a big hurry to take her to shows right now because she doesn't think she's ready to hit the shows again. She wants to make some changes, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So that's where we're at on that, okay? So that and she also had to take out her seat covers because she left the windows down during a rainstorm. It was bad. So there you go. Let's get back, get a good look at Project Lena. She's a typical car of this time where you're starting to have things break on them a little bit more. But you're going to get that. You're going to get that. All right. So for those who've been asking, there's Project Lena. Now over to Project Spirit. All right. Now Project Spirit was at yesterday's car show, and she was in her usual form. As you can see, we're actually getting ready to pull some parts off a good old Spirit soon and start doing a little bit more cleaning, a little bit more dressing. We tried an experiment with an old part, and it just didn't work out with the type of paint. Kind of that water marbling dip paint job stuff. We tried it on some, and the paint that we got just won't work. And you have to have a paint that'll work with high temp, but it's still, it just wouldn't work. So we're gonna have to maybe look at something else, which we have something else in mind already. Okay, so good old Spirit's engine. Now there was a couple of little bitty changes. Now if you've not kept up, we added these, got rid of the regular studs where we could, and of course the Excel Super Stock coil. I did clean and redo that top piece. I'm gonna have to redo that side piece, but that's at a later date. We're actually gonna start seeing some of Princess Faye's artwork kind of fade off of Project Spirit's engine. Mainly because Princess Faye isn't happy with it, and I have no idea what else she has in mind. You get the idea. Okay? Now, and of course, the pinstriping. The pinstriping. We all love the pinstriping. There we go. And of course, right up there, that's the piece of resistance. Doing that piece up there. And of course, again, if you like Project Spirit, gotta love that retro style pinstriping. But anyhow, come over here and look right there. We added a new shift boot, um, which did add a little bit more flair to it. This is more for a truck anyways, but the irony of that is that, well, shoot, a lot of stuff that ends up on, like the engine and transmission setup, I constantly say would be better off in a pickup truck. So a lot of that stuff. Of course, I had to redo one of my floor mats. Now, if you've not kept up with the channel, one of the things that we also had to do was I bought some gray floor mats and painted them to kind of halfway match the interior. They just don't make them in this color, and I don't have the money to afford the Maverick. Yeah, there's actual Maverick logo floor mats, and I really want them, but I'm not able to buy them yet. You know, we've got things we actually have to fix on the vehicles to keep them up and going. So there you go. All right. Mm. So good old Project Spirits engine. Now, yeah. Oh, you're here just in time. We were just showing off the cars real quick. Um, I just showed. I'll go ahead and come over so you could see the changes to Project Lena's engine bay. Right up here, I just painted that cap. Okay, now this is not a big change. These are more subtle changes. And that particular cap right there. Now, when you stand back, it's not a big deal per se, but you know, this is just kind of small pieces for the big show that's yet to come. That's one of the things that Princess Faye has been talking about. She's not really in a hurry to hit the car shows because she wants Lena to have a little bit more done, at least in this area, and a couple of little things that have to be fixed because, you know, she wants Lena to look her best, you know. Real quick, we don't talk about this enough, and since, you know, for whatever reason, if you look right there, that is actual custom pinstripe that Princess Faye did. And you come down here and you can really see it again right there on the doors and right all the way to the back. She did this herself. When you stand back, it's like boom, there it is, you know. And so this was one of the cars. I mean, so if you're new to the channel, and I mean, this is Project Lena. We wanted her to be there yesterday, it just wasn't possible. Now, since we already looked at the engine bay, we'll take a look. Princess Faye also did that herself with pinstripe tape. And Project Lena does have some pretty nifty looking seat covers. We just had to take them out because it was a day, huge rainstorm, and she didn't get a chance to, I don't know what happened, but the windows were down. So that's Project Lena. Now, Project Spirit was at yesterday's car show. Now, if you don't know what yesterday's car show was, it was a car show where we went to this drive-in movie theater and they showed Smokey and the Bandit later on that night, which I love Smokey and the Bandit. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. And we got to watch Smokey and the Bandit, but there was this huge car show. This is the third car show in a row for Project Spirit not to bring home a trophy. So it's kind of a lean season right now for her. But that happens. That happens. But the pinstriping, that again is Princess Faye's handiwork. And if there's one part that really just makes the whole car stand out, it's right there. That took her a good long time. Took her a good long time. Again, Project Spirit's original inline 6, right there, looking sharp, you know. But we are going to be going through some changes. We're going to be changing some of the colors that are in here. Obviously, Princess Faye's not happy with a lot of her artwork and things like that. And we are eventually going to get to where we're going to be able to tear into the old girl and redo her body. And we'll change out some old parts, put in some new stuff. We've even got LED headlights that'll be going in place of Project Spirit. So now here in a few, we're going to go upstairs. We're going to talk about the car show itself. And I have video footage, but we're not going to worry about that video footage right now. We're going to be showing that. Basically, I've just kind of came to the conclusion I'm going to release all the car shows at once here in probably about a month or two, you know, thereabouts. You know, give everybody plenty of, you know, a lot of times I release them one at a time. They're just not noticed. So I'm just going to release them as a package deal, 4 in 1 day or something to that effect. So for those who've been asking to see Project Lena, there she is. And of course, more Project Spirit right there. We all love Project Spirit. We love Project Lena. Okay. Real quick. Now, these cars are typical daily drivers. They do have their issues, things that need to be replaced. For example, there, you can't hear that too well. The window does not roll up anymore. You can hear it rattle around in there a little bit. Didn't rattle around as hard as it normally does. For Project Spirit, rust, rust, rust. Got surface rust. And we can't let it turn into full-on cancer, otherwise it'll get worse than that. For Spirit, just more to do, more to do. And as time goes on, we fix and change things on her. You know, like I said, this is the leanest season that Spirit has had. She's been to a total of 5 car shows this year and has only brought home a total of, believe it or not, only 2 trophies. So that's kind of an odd year for her, because usually when she goes, she usually gets a trophy. But we'll talk more about that upstairs, why that's not a big deal in this particular case. So yeah, there you have it. Now I'm going to flip the camera around to me. We're going to go on up to the office because I feel like being a wimp. And we're going to talk about yesterday's car show. And even the irony of wearing this particular shirt, because I do donate blood. I have the camera flipped around at me. The wife isn't exactly dressed for camera. Ooh, it's dark. There we go. All right. All right, let's talk a little bit about yesterday's car show at the Starlight. Let's talk about yesterday's car show at the Starlight. Okay. Here in Missouri, drive-ins are starting to pop back up again, which is pretty awesome. If you've never been to a drive-in movie theater, it is definitely, I think I may have been to one once when I was a kid. I vaguely might remember it. I might have just been in one. But drive-ins went away years ago. And we're starting to see them pop up. Cadet, Missouri, which is really not that far. I think it's maybe like a 16-minute drive from here. You can go over there. And it's a lot different. It used to be where you had to have the little speaker that hung on your window and you could watch it from your vehicle. Well, times have changed. You go there and when you go there, you turn your radio on to a particular radio station and then it plays it. There was this one guy who realized that last night at the show that there was probably going to be a lot of people with old vehicles that either A, they didn't put a radio in it, or B, just didn't have, they didn't want one in there. So he had a big sound system in his pickup truck and he turned the volume all the way up so everyone could hear it. So it's pretty awesome. But let's talk about the show itself. The show actually began, well, people started showing up about 4 o'clock. I got there about 4:30-ish. And this show was put on, obviously, by the people who own the Starlight Drive-In Movie Theater in Cadet, Missouri. And the actual event was put on by, believe it or not, it was put on by this organization called shaysangels.org, which is actually run out of the Potosi, Missouri, and Cadet, Missouri area. I don't know all the backstory, but I know enough to kind of talk about it. From what I understand, there was this young lady named Shay, in her teen years, bright young lady, looking to have a great future ahead of her, and decided to commit suicide a couple of years ago. Very tragic. And their thing is that they wanted to, I guess the family and a lot of the people that were affected in the community decided to start an organization, a nonprofit organization, that the sole purpose behind that nonprofit organization is to raise suicide awareness and to help with suicide prevention, which I am all for. So when I heard about this, immediately I got right behind it. So this was very important. Here I am wearing an American Red Cross t-shirt from one of the last times I donated blood. So you guys know that that doing charity events is super, super important. Well, if you've kept up with the channel, you know for about a week now I've been announcing that the Prince Magnum channel will be there because this is an important deal. That, and I thought it would be an awesome experience. I never got to see Smokey and the Bandit, at a drive-in movie theater, and that we'll get to that in a minute. Um, Again, Smokey and the Bandit's one of my all-time favorite movies, one of them. Um, but anyhow, so Princess Faye was stuck at work, and I'm pretty sure she could have, meandered and argued a little bit and could have gotten out of work, but she didn't. Again, with Project Lena needing a little bit of TLC, she wasn't in a big hurry with it. I understand. Um, so we decided to go to the drive-in theater. Um, I took Project Spirit up there, which was funny because I intended to be there a little bit sooner, but Princess Faye forgot to give me back the channel's business card, so I had to go all the way to Farmington, from Bonne Terre to Farmington, to get her card, to get my card, my debit card, and then I had to drive all the way to Bonne Terre, fill up and everything, because Project Spirit is very picky about her gasoline. And then from there, I drove her all the way to Cadet for this car show. Okay. Um, which it seemed like there was even, at the show, there was even a little bit of looking for my lighter. Did y'all see my lighter? Anyhow. Um, um, Thank you, dear. Mm.
You left it outside, didn't you?
No, no, I didn't leave it outside. Got to this the Starlight, and immediately as I was coming up, someone's like, "Is this in the show?" I said, "Yes, this is going to be in the show." I've never seen a car like this, young gentleman. And I said, I said, "Well, this is Project Spirit of YouTube, on the Prince Magnum channel from YouTube." He's like, "You brought a project car from YouTube?" I said, "Yeah, we're here to to help." And went up, got my spot, and a lot of people automatically, I haven't seen one of these in years and everything. Well, that was all great and everything. Before you knew it, though, I seen a lot of you, the Maverick Nation, there with your own projects. That was wild. I have never experienced that. There were so many people there that represented the Maverick Nation at yesterday's car show, as we're videoing this. That was awesome. I never in my life could have expected that. Um, there were so many of you there representing the Maverick Nation. I don't know how many people we brought in, how many of you, uh, how much money we helped raise just by ourselves, but I don't think those numbers really matter. The fact that we were there trying to help, I think, speaks volumes over anything else. See, one of the big issues that I have felt about other hot rodding YouTube channels is that there's not enough of us getting out there and hot rodding on YouTube isn't that big of a deal, but I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, it's it's pretty much all the same stuff, anyways. You know, um, but the fact that we do the car shows and everything like that, we had a great time, trying to help, and that's when I met some of the people from Shay's Angels, that particular organization. I met some of them, was telling them, who I was and things like that. It was pretty awesome. Um, it was really awesome. So, I mean, I have never experienced anything like that where there were so many of us, the Maverick Nation, out there just having a good time. Um, Again, Project Spirit didn't bring home a trophy, but I don't think that's really important. I think this year, it seems like every time you turn around, I may not end up with another trophy, but I end up with with a really cool story, which I think sometimes coming away with something more that trophies tangible. I come away with something intangible, and I think that speaks volumes over just a trophy. You know, And this is twice now, just this year alone, that has happened. I think already I've done what did Country Days. See, did the Azalea Festival. Did right over here in town for the high school, and of course helped raise money for the high school. And of course did Country Days. Then did Jackson, Missouri, the Jackson, Missouri 4th of July car show, and then of course we did. Um, then we did yesterday the Shay's Angels slash Starlight Drive-In car show, and I hope they do another one. And hopefully before the end of the, if they do another one, I want to know. I want to be there. Um, and in the process, the Maverick Nation grew a little bit last night from last night's car show. That was really awesome. We probably, I know last time I looked, we picked up a grand total of about 4 new subscribers. I imagine as the days kind of go by a little bit more, um, that we'll probably see an influx. I'm betting to see about a total of maybe at least 15 total from that one event. So that's pretty awesome. Um, Again, there's many of us in the Maverick Nation. We love going to see cars, and we love having a good time. We love cars. Um, we picked, like I said, we probably picked up quite a few subscribers just from that one event, and it was really awesome. Before I forget, I want to take a moment. There was one gentleman. I mean, a lot of them made my day, but everyone really made my day. That either A, came up and enjoyed Project Spirit, or came up and recognized me from the channel, or anything like that. And again, there was a lot of members of the Maverick Nation there. There was a lot. Out of like, hundreds of people there, we represented and represented well. Almost makes me wish we had our own special T-shirts or hats. I might have to get into, might have to make some more of these. Let's see. So so we were there. We represented and represented well. And one particular gentleman was going around getting photographs, and evidently he was into photography. I mean, that was his thing. I think I forget all the details of it, but he was going around with a 35 millimeter camera. And I hadn't seen anybody carry anything like that around in a while. And he was amazing with it. I mean, from what I could see, I can't wait. He got like a half a gazillion pictures of Project Spirit, and I can't wait until he develops those, because I wouldn't mind having a copy of those. Hang on a second, I'm gonna slide off for just a second. There we go. Now I can read the comments better whenever someone throws a comment out there. So it was really awesome seeing all of you out there that could make it. And seeing your projects. Matter of fact, this one guy, uh, I mean, I'll be able to show it, but there was one guy who had a lowered 65 Volkswagen Beetle. I'd never seen anything like that. But him and his woman, they just loved it. And of course, they came over and looked at Spirit. And I mean, there was a lot of camaraderie. At car shows, there's a lot of camaraderie, anyways. But there was more so from, if you will, the fact that why we were there. And, it was just, words cannot describe the feelings. So there you have that. Again, I think it was about 8:45 they started the movie. And again, I've seen Smokey and the Bandit a million times. It's one of my all-time favorite movies. In 1977, when that movie came out, hot rodding was almost a thing of the past, and it was Hollywood that turned us on to hot cars. And I mean, I'm not a fan of country music, but I guess you could say I'm a fan of Jerry Reed. It turned us on to different things. It exposed us to the CB culture. If you follow my good buddy, the Cadillac Kid, he likes to keep CB radios in his vehicles. Um, So he's a throwback to the Smokey and the Bandit era. You know, a lot of, so and for the record, how great is Smokey and the Bandit? Well, it did almost beat Star Wars in box office sales in 1977. And it told us, it was the movie that told us it was okay to have fun with cars again. Um, and because of that, it's that movie did save the hot rodding culture that that so many of us glorify today. Um, Now again, another movie that gets I don't think people really realize when you talk about the importance of those hot rodding movies, and some people really start beating the culture that I grew up with, the hot rodding culture. They really beat it up hardcore, and that again, 2000s, we started seeing a kind of an animosity going on about having custom cars, all they're bad for the environment, all this other stuff. And if it hadn't been for the Fast and Furious franchise, we would have seen that again. So again, the power of Hollywood doing the right thing, telling us it's perfectly okay to have fun with cars again. Um, it was a great time. Again, I want to thank the Starlight Drive-In Theater and Shay's Angels um, for allowing the Prince Magnum channel to come out and show off Project Spirit, letting us get the video footage, taking time to talk with me, and things like that. I want to thank all of you so very much for opening Project Spirit, myself, and the Maverick Nation with open arms, because we were there to try to help. We were trying to help you guys out, but you guys, it could have easily said, we really don't want your type around here, but you didn't. Okay, you let us come in, you let us kind of, enjoy ourselves and have a great time. Um, I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time out and letting us be there and all that sort of stuff. It means the world to us because, I mean, again, unfortunately, some YouTube channels and are just not very. They don't get. They're just not very popular, down in this area. Um, some local YouTubers in our area. There's probably a handful of us where down in this area, and the Prince Magnum channel being one of the bigger ones. Um, you know, some of them don't get. What's the word I'm looking for? Some of us have a bad rep. And thankfully the Prince Magnum channel has managed to get away with not ending up with a bad rep. Most of the time, you all just accept us with big, wide open arms. Both Princess Faye and I, and our projects, and the people that follow us. So we do appreciate that. All right. If you join the live stream and late and you didn't get a chance to see Project Spirit or Project Lena, you're going to have to watch it again. um, and if or what?
You could be nice and go back out and show them one more time.
That's pretty well dead at the moment. I don't think anyone's on at the moment. We had about 3 or 4 over there for a minute, but that's okay.
Well, late hi to those people if they should watch the clip.
So if you want to see them again, watch a playback, and that sort of thing. I guess you could say there was about 10 minutes of 10 minutes of both Project Spirit and Project Lena, and then of course me just rambling on about how awesome the car show was, and you should have been there. Again, if you've never, that was an experience for me. I never got to see Smokey and the Bandit up on the big screen. Maybe next time they'll do Gumball Rally, or maybe Cannonball with David Carradine. Maybe they might do one of those movies next time. But there you have it. All right, so that brings us to the usual spot. Again, I want to thank Shay's Angels. If you want to donate to Shay's Angels, go to shayangels.org And I will try to remember to leave that in the description in the box below. So if you want to donate for suicide prevention, suicide awareness in the Cadet, Missouri, and Potosi area, you are welcome to. I know they can use all the help they can get. Again, I did get to talk with some of their people, and they're just fantastic people. They just want to help, which is I can get behind that. I want to again thank the Starlight Drive-In Movie Theater because I mean they didn't even get upset. Well, everybody was already doing it, but when people were leaving the car show, a lot of people with Mustangs were laying rubber. Of course, the guys, our redneck brethren in the hot rod community with very powerful pickup trucks, they were leaving laying rubber, and of course I had to get my lick in. Project Spirit, uh, being the oddball, she laid rubber too. Funniest part about that is all these guys with these big V8s, and then Project Spirit with their little bitty inline six. It was great. Should have been there. But anyhow, I want to thank the Starlight Drive-In Movie Theater for having us. All right, if you're not subscribed to the Prince Magnum channel, you're going to miss out on stuff like this because we will be. I know I'm going to release kind of like a good size chunk of videos for all of you from this year's car shows. Not sure when, but I'm thinking soon I'll start releasing those because we're coming to the end of car show season, and I just wanted to have a little backup content, to be honest with you. And the other thing is that to go along with all of that, so if you're not subscribed, to go along with that, you might want to also hit that bell icon. You'll be notified every time we upload a brand new video, which is awesome. You would really love it. Love those notifications because a lot of people like it when I go live and talk about stuff like this. So you'll miss out on that or when I upload a new video. To go along with that, let's see. Check me out on Patreon. Okay, we're taking donations. All the donations that go to my Patreon account will go directly to Project Spirit. Project Spirit will be going through some, regardless one way or the other. Basically, when you guys donate, I can go quicker on it. But if you don't donate, it's still going to happen. It's just going to take more time. And it's kind of one of those things. If you want to see it go faster, and you want to see that video footage of the things happening, you got to put it. Give me a hand. If you're okay with the pace that it's going, well, okay too. It doesn't matter. But if you don't have anything, if you will, hey, I understand. We've all been there. Sometimes we're still there. Anyhow, along with all of that, the mini movie was put back about a month. I just delayed it for about a month because I wasn't happy with a couple things. So just kind of I will keep you posted as we progress. I just wasn't happy with it. I don't want to release any crap to you guys. Also, if you like this video, be sure to hit that bell icon. I'm not the bell icon. Be sure to hit that like button. You hit it really hard so YouTube knows it. Let's see. Positive feedback. I'm always looking forward to it. Check me out on Twitter and on Facebook. And thankfully, there's no Twitter face, so you don't have to look me up there. Let's see. Pretty well. Gosh, dang it, there's no lighter. Pretty well. Yep, covered it all. The Press Magnum channel will be out at Laz's Bar and Grill once again this coming Friday. If you're interested in coming out, hanging out with us, maybe singing with us, whatever, come out and see us, okay? Karaoke starts at about 9 o'clock. If you want to get your practice in at Lazarus Bar and Grill, now I doubt I will be there, but they also have karaoke on Tuesdays and Thursday nights as well. So before you want to practice a couple of songs, get used to them. Because everybody has that one song can do, and in some cases probably even better than the artist that actually made it. get your practice in, get used to being on being on the stage, and you'll get to meet the infamous Brian the DJ, a party pro, and that sort of thing. Again, probably the best karaoke DJ in the world, in my opinion. Um, you don't get any better than that man. Hmm. All right. And one of the next car shows, we will be I'll be sitting down with Princess Faye, and we'll be deciding on the next show or cruise that'll be coming up soon. All right, so that pretty well covers all of that. All right, that covers everything other than get out there and work on a project. I don't care what it is, just do something with yourself. Again, idle hands and a creative mind make horrible bedfellows. If you have a sweetheart, sweep them off their feet. Do something special for them today. Might take them to a drive-in movie theater. And as always, for all of you out there, if no one out there has told you that they love you, Prince Magnum does. God bless you and have a happy 24. Thank you.